Here's the recommendation then from the Camp Retreat Ministry Board, that we move from 5 ministry centers to 3. So right now, the recommendation is Wesley Forest becomes a year-round center for United Methodist programming and also for hosting of retreat groups year-round. Why Wesley Forest? Why not Green Hills, for example? Well, Wesley Forest already has 3 winterized facilities. It has the large acreage similar to Green Hills. It has a class AAA trout stream similar to Green Hills. But Green Hills would require much greater investment to have the capacity to do year-round ministry there. The second place to continue ministry is Camp Penn. Camp Penn is in the southern part, so you have Wesley Forest in the central part of the conference, Camp Penn in the south to serve those churches, Wesley Forest in the center. Camp Penn has a long history of serving the churches in the southern part of the conference. But Camp Penn is leased. That's a question that arises. Why would we keep a leased property and not a property that we already own? That's a really good question. There's some great questions that people have raised, and I'm glad they are, because they're important. Well, there's 2 reasons why Camp Penn. First of all, the lease for Camp Penn is only $1,000 a year, so it doesn't cost us much at all to be at Camp Penn. And there's no talk from the Forest Service or anyone else that this would not continue as it has for decades. So that piece is very attractive. The second factor is that a lot of the upgrades have been done at Camp Penn. Camp Penn is a basic summer camp. So it doesn't have the expense of a year-round facility where you have to have winterized facilities. Winterized facilities are much more expensive. Because Camp Penn is a summer camp, and we've already improved the pool, we've already done a lot of improvements in the buildings. There are more improvements to be done for sure, but not near the cost as it would be at another facility. And then we also can maximize the summer and get to that 800 camper number by serving 5 months there. That frees up one of our staff members to be doing some of this other work that needs to be done, right? Because we will no longer be trying to operate Camp Penn in the wintertime. So there's so many advantages to staying with Camp Penn. And then the third ministry that the board is recommending that we continue to work with and build even a stronger connection with is Sky Lake. So Sky Lake is not owned by our conference, it's owned by the Upper New York Conference. But we have a collaboration with them. And historically, they have been the camps for the northern churches. When the Susquehanna Conference was created, it was created by bringing together 2 other conferences, the Wyoming Conference and the Central Pennsylvania Conference. Well, the Wyoming Conference had a camp, and it was Sky Lake. So for many generations, our churches and our people are used to going to Sky Lake. The second piece of Sky Lake is they're very similar in the program emphasis. They're very similar to our philosophy. They have entered a formal partnership with us, so we can work with them on the shape of our experiences. So that's very, very important, so that they're consistent. The other thing is the Upper New York Conference owns that site, and so they'll be putting money into that site. We're not responsible for all of the development that happens there. Now, we may choose to join in to support a project there, but in terms of the money that would come from the sale of our 2 remaining camps, it would not be going to Sky Lake. They have other resources. So the 2 facilities and grounds that the board is recommending we sell are Green Hills. Green Hills also serves the central part of the state, and we've already talked about the similarities between it. And again, it would take significant development of Green Hills in order to bring it up to year-round facility. The other facility that we're looking and the board is recommending be sold is Mount Asbury. Mount Asbury is an adult retreat center. And unfortunately, the challenge with Mount Asbury is when it was built too small. We talked about the volume of people you need to have in order to make something work. They've never broken even in their entire existence. That facility has never broken even in its entire existence. And it's because it's built too small. It's not the staff, it's not, they have excellent staff, they have excellent food, etc. They have nice rooms, but they didn't build enough rooms. The answer to getting that situation straightened out is build a new wing. The problem is the building of the new wing is very, very costly. When you're talking about adult facilities, you're talking multi-million dollars to build a wing. And the board felt that our resources would be better spent strengthening other parts of our program. So we'll be helping groups find other places to do retreats. We know that's important, but in the big scheme of things, and with the resources that we have available to us, that is just far too costly for us to be able to take on. So the monies from the sale of Mount Asbury and the sale of Green Hills, people have asked, what's that money going to do? Well, it's going to do four things. One, it's going to upgrade our facilities at the centers that we continue at. That's particularly important to do upgrades so that we have the programmatic expanse. So that's the second piece, grow programs. Third piece, it'll pay for the staff who are necessary to do that. And the fourth piece is money established that will help the ministry in the long run. In other words, we can use earnings off money. That's another piece of the puzzle. So again, the board, from my perspective, and I'll just speak for Kevin Witt, they're being so responsible. They're getting the expertise they need so they can think through what needs to be thought through. And so the new pieces will emerge. We know some things that have to be improved, but other things will emerge as we move forward with this more detailed master plan, which is the next phase after a strategic plan. So they've worked their strategic plan. What direction do we need to go? And the next is the master plan. How does that get played out on the facilities? We wanted you to have all this information because you, as persons who are coming to the annual conference, will be helping to discern the direction, the approval of the recommendation. So if there are other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My name is Kevin Witt again, W-I-T-T. And my email address is very easy, KWITT@susumc.org. Thank you, everyone.